Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is another book tag. This is the anti-Harry Potter book tag. And I'm just going to insert here that I do love the Harry Potter series. This is in no way, shape, or form a diss on those books. However, these questions are geared towards other novels from your childhood. So you cannot answer the questions using the Harry Potter books. So that is the reason why the tag was created, to kind of shed light on other books that you really enjoyed and had a lasting impact in your life. So, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, question number one, a book or series you want to reread. I chose Hatchet by Gary Paulson because I just love that book. It is the first book in a series. However, I did not finish those books. I only read the first book, Hatchet, and even if it was a standalone book, it's still amazing. So I really wanted to talk about this one because I did a thing on Facebook where I am giving away 5 books this year, and 5 people commented on the status, and that was actually the first book that I got to give away, and it just really made me happy to give that book away because it meant so much to me, and I really encourage you to read that book if you haven't. It's a classic novel. It's a classic tale, survival tale of this boy who is basically a survivor of a plane crash, and all he has is this hatchet that his mother gave him as a present. So it's a really empowering book to read. So yeah, that is the book that I chose, and I would love to reread that along with the rest of the books in this series. Number two, a book that has a special place in your heart. This is going to be Holes by Louis Satcher. This is one of those books that I remember reading. We had to read it as a class. I can't remember which grade I was in, honestly, but it was one of the first books that I remember feeling just fully immersed in the story and engrossed in, the character of this boy that's being forced to dig these holes. And it really just opened my eyes and my heart more in the sense of empathy, I guess. I was at that stage where I could start to feel empathy a lot more. When we're children, we go from having this self-centered point of view of the world to being able to feel what others are feeling, or to conjure or think about what others might be feeling. And this was one of the first books that I read where I really dug deep and could actually feel what this character was going through. So I really enjoyed reading Holes. Number three, a book you loved as a child. So there were these 3 books, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark by Alvin Schwartz. And I remember carrying these books around everywhere I went. I took them to school, I took them to my grandparents' house, I took them to church even. But basically, they're just like old, like folklore tales with really fascinating illustrations. And I was so engrossed in them. I don't know what it was. I mean, I had already been introduced to like the Goosebumps series, so I was already inclined to what to read, like scary stuff. So whenever, I don't even remember where I got these books. If I got them from school or they were given to me as a gift, I don't even know. But all I remember is taking them everywhere I went and reading them like every day. So yeah, those books were really something I really enjoyed as a child. Question number 4, the first book you fell in love with. This is going to be The Face on the Milk Carton by Caroline Cooney. This story is basically about a girl who sees a picture of a little girl on a milk carton. And this picture looks a lot like herself. So she's starting to question um, her own parents. And it's so interesting. The book, I would read it right now if I had it, because I remember thinking about this book every time I was in the cafeteria when I would look around at all these milk cartons, and I would be just so ready to get back to the room for free reading and read this book. I remember that feeling in the cafeteria just like it was yesterday. It's so crazy to me. But yeah, that book had a really lasting impression on me and really formed the type of books that I was interested in. You know, the thriller, mystery, feel good, meaningful types of books. Those are really where my heart lies. And I think it's due to that book having such a lasting impact on me. So it's kind of interesting to go back and think about these books and how much they mean to you. So yeah, it's really exciting. Question 5, a book you'll love forever. So this is going to be The Indian in the Cupboard by Lynn Banks. I love that book. It's just basically about this boy who gets this little Indian in his cupboard, and the Indian comes to life. 6, a book you'll pass on to your kids. This is going to be Pocahontas by Joseph Bruchac. This is because the Pocahontas is our ancestor. My grandfather, before he passed, had traced back our family lineage to Pocahontas. And I just thought that was so fascinating and so cool. And pretty much ever since my kids had the capability of talking and having conversation, I have told them time and time again that our ancestor is in fact Pocahontas. So we have fun watching the movies, and I've kept this book for quite a while. I've already given it to them. My oldest is starting to read chapter books, so hopefully I'm going to get her interested in opening this one after she reads her books from school. So, yeah, pretty fun. Number 7, a middle grade series you love. Oh my goodness. R.L. Stein's The Babysitter series. These books were, I was obsessed with them. Not to mention all of the other R.L. Stein books like Goosebumps. But the Babysitters series really scared me. And my first job was actually a babysitter, so I think I was pretty much prepared for anything at that point. But yeah, I love those series, and I would probably read them again because I just found so much joy in them. 8, a book with magic. This will be The Swan Princess by Francine Hughes. I love the book, love the movie. Actually, the movie is probably still to this day my favorite childhood animated movie, um, besides Kiki's Delivery Service. But going back to The Swan Princess, basically, this story is about a king, a prince really, and he has this childhood friend, it's a girl. He doesn't really like her. He thinks she's annoying. She's sort of what you would call an ugly duckling. And both of these families have kind of planned it out that these two people will be arranged to be married. And of course, once they're of age, he's kind of refusing. So a lot of females, a lot of other princesses come to like the typical ball, like you see in Cinderella, and he actually chooses Odette, and because she has turned into this beautiful, beautiful princess, and so he's basically like, okay, yeah, let's do this. We're getting married. I choose you. And she was like, why? And he said, because you're beautiful. You're all that I ever wanted. And she was like, but is beauty all that you care about? Is there anything more? And he's like, what else is there? So she's immediately put off, and then something happens. And she's turned into this swan, and he realizes that he truly does love her, not only because of her beauty but because of, you know, her heart and her passion for other things. So he's basically on this journey to save her, and not going to give too much away, but there is magic in this because obviously she's like turned into this swan. And but yeah, I encourage you, if you haven't watched the movie, definitely go and watch that. But the book is just as good. Yeah, this will wrap up the tag. I had so much fun reminiscing on all these books. And if you want to do the tag, feel free. Please do so actually, because I would actually love to watch more of these. So yeah, that's all for today, and I will see you again in my next video. Bye.